Okay, so today I want to talk about Control. I decided I was going to play this game over my Christmas holiday, as it had been sitting on my shelf for far too long, unopened and unplayed. I was attracted to the game due to its paranormal theme, similar to that found in Beyond Two Souls in the Netflix series Stranger Things, which I absolutely love. The game was developed by Remedy, who have previously worked on games such as Max Payne, Alan Wake and Quantum Break. So I was looking forward to Remedy's new IP due to their impressive track record for developing strong storylines and captivating characters. The game takes place in a secretive government agency known as the Federal Bureau of Control, or the FBC for short. The game at its core is an action-adventure where you play as Jesse Faden. You help her search for a missing brother. This search has led Jesse to the government building that is head office for the FBC. You realise something's wrong, that the FBC are under threat from a supernatural entity known as the Hiss. The Hiss have managed to eliminate the current director of the FBC, and Jessie realises that if she is to get any answers regarding the disappearance of her brother, she has to accept becoming the next director and to head further into the oldest house. Wait a minute, so you randomly walk into a building, a government building at that, meet nobody apart from a janitor, and somehow you become the next director of this government agency? I have far too many questions to need answering. Okay, so a lot of things happen for no apparent reason in the early parts of the game, and you just need to go with the flow before things start to make any real sense. Once you accept this, you can get on with the main meat and bones of the game, which is to neutralise the Hiss, which then allows you to obtain answers to the many questions you might have. Okay, so although the main point of the game is to find out what's happened to Jessie's brother, she meets other Bureau agents along the way who become powerful allies, all of which have stories of their own to discover, with FBC secrets and experiments to uncover.
Hissing sound that tried to invade me earlier.
The gameplay of Control follows a pretty linear structure to begin with, which has you assisting other Bureau agents dealing with a Hiss threat, and then cleansing what they call control points, which allow you to stabilise the oldest house. I would say cleansing the control points forms probably the first couple of missions of the game. This introduces you to the vast scale of the oldest house, and the constantly evolving nature of the oldest house as well. Control points become fast travel points too, which become handy later in the game, but the best part about control points is when you cleanse them, it causes shifts in the oldest house that may reveal new paths or areas that were not available previously. Makes you realise that the oldest house is not a typical building as we know them, but more a construct that is forever evolving and changing, which creates a link with the other realms that exist within the world of Control. The constant changes to the oldest house and shifts between realms are probably one of my favourite elements to this game. As the game centres around dealing with the threat of the Hiss enemy, there are two main combat mechanics that Remedy have designed for you to deal with them. The first combat mechanic is through the use of your gun, or service weapon as it's known in the game. Now this isn't any normal weapon, however. The service weapon is unique in that it does not have rounds like a typical gun, but an energy bar that gets depleted as you use it. It can also morph into different versions of itself, so 1 second it can be a pistol, then a shotgun, or even a sniper rifle. Each version can be upgraded and enhanced with mods as you level up and find the mods. For me, it's like getting a hold of Judge Dredd's pistol and blasting the Hiss while saying, "I am the law!" The second combat mechanic is through the use of Jessie's psychic abilities. Psychic abilities which you weren't fully aware of to begin with, but this may explain why she had been chosen as the next director. There are 5 psychic abilities that Jessie can learn throughout the game. The first 2 that you come across are probably Dodge and Launch. These are really handy because Dodge allows you to, well, pretty much dodge the Hiss attacks, which is very handy as the way the Hiss act in the game, you can't stay in one place for very long. Or the second ability, Launch, which allows you to throw stuff at the Hiss, which is unbelievably satisfying. The game has a lot of content. It also has a lot of collectibles to find and pick up. Doing so provides a deeper understanding to the experiments and incidents that have happened at the oldest house, and this begins to give context to the reasons behind the hiss attack. These are not absolutely necessary to progress through the game, but for me as a holder, I had to pick up every last file or tape or video that I came across. Doing so led to some interesting revelations, but also some hidden comedy gems in the game which I was not expecting at all. A personal favourite is the videos you find of the Threshold Kids. Now this is a puppet show that was created to explain to some of the child experiments being held about the paranormal world and the moral issues that they may encounter in their time in the oldest house. I'll leave a little clip of them here so you can get a little taste of what I mean.
Stepping to the FBC, there's lots to do, there's lots to be, but don't touch and don't scream much. Let's join the Threshold Kids. Let's join the Threshold Kids.
The art design for Control is nothing short of impressive. The overall ambience created by Remedy really adds to the game's paranormal elements and at times can create some really tense and thrilling moments. I love the world that they've created in Control, from the fact that the oldest house constantly changes as you move through the game, to the other world locations like the Astral Plane and the Ocean View Motel, each with their own really strong aesthetic. The decision to mix media with cutscenes again really works well in Control. I'm not normally a fan of live action cutscenes in games, but Remedy have managed to convince me that it can work if done well. One element I particularly like is when there is a live action holographic element used within the game when the old director speaks to you and offers you advice. I'm not sure how they've managed to make it look 3D within the actual game itself, but whatever they've done, very cleverly done and impressive. Overall, I find the game very engaging. It has some great level and character design, something Remedy have always been great for. I also love the fact that this is a new IP, what has in recent years become a gaming era that is just full of sequels and remasters. I commend Remedy for having the balls to make a AAA game from scratch. I do however have a few issues with the game, which did tarnish my enjoyment of it. The first of them is the item pickup and the chests in the game. The chests just look like office printers that explode when you open them. I'm not quite sure what it's meant to be, but I just don't get it. Please enlighten me in the comments if you do. The items you pick up that you use for upgrading your service weapon and mods don't really make any sense to me either. I just don't feel particularly engaged with them, and because all items are just orbs on the floor you pick up, it feels like it's just random what you may or may not get, so you can't go and farm for a specific item if that's what you need for an upgrade. It just makes the item and upgrade system frustrating. The second and probably bigger issue I have with the game is the AI of the hiss. One of the combat mechanics is you have to be mobile during any engagements with the hiss. To do this, it seems like the AI just constantly want to move closer and closer to Jesse at all times, regardless of if they end up in the open, which makes them easy to kill, but when the hiss numbers are large, you can easily become overwhelmed as they descend on you in mass. I totally get what Remedy are trying to do, which is to move away from the hiding behind cover and thinning out the crowd like what happens in games like Mass Effect and Gears of War. It becomes a chore sometimes to move through the oldest house. Unfortunately for these reasons, I give this game a 7 out of 10. The game is visually unique from anything I've played before, with beautifully crafted environments to explore and navigate a path through. The story Remedy has created with Control is engaging, has a cast of characters that are intriguing and fascinating, and make me want to explore the oldest house to discover absolutely all that I can. I think if you're looking for a unique and totally refreshing game to play, I would definitely suggest you try out Control, particularly if you're a fan of the sci-fi genre. I still have to finish this game, which I fully intend to do, as even with the combat elements I am enjoying this game, and I am looking forward to the DLC content that is meant to arrive later this year. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone loves this game as much as I did. If not, don't be shy in the comments below, because I won't be shy in telling you that you're wrong. Catch you in the next video.